So you've heard the term turn it over, like turn it over to God, turn it over to a higher power. And what that means is really allowing God, your higher power, source, divine, to not only support you, but it's like it's a game of trust. Let's say you're going through something and you don't know if it's going to work out and you're trying to control it at every angle, and it can be really really painful, and then when it doesn't work out in the way that you want it to, then we're left feeling disappointed, maybe beating ourselves up, feeling like a failure, things like that. But you've heard that term, turn it over to God. Do the work, right? Do the basic work, do the steps, and then turn it over to God and let the outcome be in God's hands. Let the outcome be in Spirit's hands. And whew, even for myself, for a lot of people, that is very, very difficult to do because we, I'm going to speak for myself and some people that I know that want to control things. We want to control the outcome. Because what if we turn it over and you don't like the outcome that God has created for you, or your guides, or spirit, or your ascended masters? What if you turn it over and you're like, shit, that's not the outcome that I really wanted. But what if it was the outcome that you really needed? And this is where we can get hung up. Oftentimes, if we are over controlling, it's because one, we learned that we needed to control our environment as a kid to be safe. And we're set up like that. When, even with like grades at school, if you do your work and you do enough, the outcome, and you control it enough, you're going to get an A, right? But this is a game of trust. This is a game of, I'm going to turn this over. Let's say you have a project, for example, something you're working on, and you want to bring it to the world. You want to bring it, it's a book or something like that, and you want to bring it to the world. You write the book, you do all the steps, you get an agent, you publish it. And then what you do is you turn it over to God. Let the outcome go to God, right? Let God do it. And if it's meant to be, it will work out in the way that it's meant to be. And it's really hard to do. So I volunteer at the Unity Church on Wednesday nights. And the minister was talking about praying to the altar of your soul. So that what he was saying was like, go to the altar of your soul and asking your soul to help you know what's in your best interest, and then turn that over to God. It's like that term, thy will be done. Thy, not our will, be done. And here's the thing, we actually do need to do the work to get there. You know what? If you're going to write a book and you turn it over to God, God's not going to write your book for you. This is where free will comes in. But God's going to help you with the outcome. God's going to help you let go of the worry, the stress, the fear of failure. And what it does is, and I have not perfected this, I am still working on it, but I loved that. Praying to the altar of your soul, like kneeling to the altar of your soul, kneeling to your own soul. Soul, help me, guide me, let me turn this over, let me turn the outcome over. Because I don't really know, my thinking mind may not really know what's best for me. Or maybe I have some lessons to learn along the way. Like, what if you wrote a book and it was an instant bestseller and then you couldn't handle it, right? You couldn't handle, you didn't have enough power or confidence or stamina to handle everything that came with being a bestseller book. Maybe you need to fail a few times, then be that bestseller. But people give up really, really soon. I see it in business all the time. They give up, that they're not in it for the long game. And those failures and those things are so important to our growth. So I'm going to invite you this week to sit at the altar of your soul. What is it that you desire? What is it that you're controlling currently in your life? Is it a relationship, your job, money, a vision, a project, a person, right? A person. I can be kind of controlling sometimes with my husband. It's so unsexy and icky, right? And then I'll be like, shit, I can't control him. That's not right. I'm kind of trying to control the outcome, anyway, that's a whole other video. But turn it over, whatever it is, whatever place you're controlling, turn it over to the altar of your soul, and then bring that up to the God of your understanding. It takes the weight off. I can even actually feel myself going, But if I do that, what's going to happen? You're going to feel more relaxed and at peace. And then you're going to let it go. And you're going to know that you did everything you could. And now it's not up to you anymore. That's what's going to happen. All right. That's my invitation to you this week. My name is Beth Osmer, and I will see you on the next video. Oh, and it's eclipse season. I don't know too much about it. It's the moon is in Aries. Lots of fire. People, a lot of anger is coming up for people. So if you're going through a rough time, it will pass. And if you feel angry, let yourself feel the anger. Maybe you need to feel angry about something and not stifle it. Of course, you don't want to take your anger out on other people. That's a different story, but let yourself feel it. We are in the moon of Aries, so it's going to pass, and you got this.